The evening air was heavy with silence as Ethan stood on the cracked sidewalk outside his small, modest home. His hands clutched the neck of a worn guitar, the edges frayed from years of use. The sky was painted in deep purples and oranges, but he barely noticed. His eyes were red, and streaks of tears ran down his cheeks, leaving trails that glistened faintly in the fading light. In his hands, he held a photograph of him and his older brother, Luke, both smiling, frozen in a moment of pure joy that now felt like a lifetime ago. The suddenness of Luke's death had shattered Ethan's world, leaving a silence so profound it seemed to echo in every corner of his life. The laughter they once shared, the secrets whispered late at night, the playful arguments over silly things, it all felt gone, as if the world had dimmed its colors overnight. Yet, despite the emptiness, Ethan's fingers instinctively brushed the guitar strings, coaxing out a soft, hesitant chord. It was as if the music itself was trying to reach him, a fragile thread connecting him back to Luke. In that quiet, heart-wrenching moment, a spark of determination flickered. He would sing, not just for himself, but for the brother he had lost. Inside his dimly lit bedroom, Ethan sank onto the edge of his bed, guitar resting awkwardly on his lap. The room was filled with reminders of Luke, posters on the walls, trophies from shared games, and scattered notebooks scribbled with inside jokes. Ethan's fingers hovered over the strings, trembling. He wanted to play, but the thought of performing in front of anyone, even strangers, made his stomach twist with fear. The memories of Luke's voice echoed in his mind, "Don't hide your music, Ethan. Let it fly." Taking a deep, shaky breath, he closed his eyes and began strumming a soft, melancholic chord. The notes filled the room, fragile yet determined. Each chord seemed to carry a piece of his grief, a fragment of love, a memory of laughter. Tears streamed down his face, but he kept playing, allowing the music to speak what words could not. In that moment, a decision crystallized in his heart. He would perform at the local open mic night, dedicating his song to Luke. The thought terrified him, but it also ignited a sense of purpose. This wasn't about applause or recognition, it was about keeping Luke's spirit alive through his music. For the first time since the accident, a flicker of courage burned within Ethan, and he knew he had to share his heart with the world. The local cafe buzzed with chatter, the smell of coffee and pastries mingling in the air. Ethan stood backstage, gripping his guitar like a lifeline, heart hammering against his ribs. He peeked through the curtain and saw the audience laughing, sipping drinks, oblivious to the storm of emotions swirling inside him. The lights felt too bright, the room too big, and for a moment, he wanted to run, to hide where no one could see his trembling hands or the tears threatening to spill. A warm hand rested gently on his shoulder. The cafe owner, an older woman with kind eyes, smiled and whispered, "Sing for him, not for them. Let your heart do the talking." Her words cut through the fear, reaching the part of Ethan that still believed in the power of music. He nodded, swallowing the lump in his throat. As he stepped toward the stage, each footstep felt like carrying the weight of loss itself. He took a deep breath, recalling Luke's laughter and encouragement. The murmurs of the crowd faded into the background. In that moment, Ethan realized that this performance wasn't about perfection, it was about truth, memory, and love. He wasn't just singing for the audience, he was singing for his brother, for himself, and for anyone who had ever felt grief so heavy it almost broke them. The spotlight hit Ethan as he stepped onto the small stage, the guitar snug against his chest. His fingers found the strings, trembling at first, but he closed his eyes and let the first chord ring out. The room fell into a hushed silence, as if the audience instinctively felt the weight of his sorrow. His voice cracked on the first few notes, raw and unpolished, but there was a sincerity in it that silenced every doubt. As he sang Luke's favorite song, memories flooded Ethan, laughing in the park, late-night talks, playful arguments over silly things. Each lyric carried his grief, his love, his longing. Tears streamed freely down his face, but the room responded not with pity, but with understanding. A mother brushed her child's hair back, a man leaned forward, eyes glistening, and strangers in the back instinctively reached out, moved by the honesty and courage in Ethan's song. By the time the last note faded, a profound quiet lingered in the cafe. For a moment, it felt like Luke's presence filled the room. The audience, once strangers, were now connected by something invisible yet powerful, a shared recognition of loss, hope, and the beauty of vulnerability. In singing for his brother, Ethan had not only honored Luke, but touched the hearts of everyone listening, leaving a silent promise of love that transcended grief. After the last note faded, Ethan stood frozen for a moment, letting the silence settle around him. Then, slowly, the room erupted, not in loud applause, but in gentle, heartfelt murmurs of admiration. Strangers approached him, offering smiles, hugs, and words of encouragement. A little girl tugged at his sleeve and asked shyly if he could teach her to play the guitar someday. Ethan's lips curled into a soft, grateful smile. Outside the cafe, the evening had deepened into a calm, starry night. Ethan carried his guitar case, now lighter somehow, feeling the warmth of connection still pulsing from the performance. Each step was less burdened by grief, and more guided by hope. In his heart, Luke's laughter echoed, no longer a haunting absence, but a memory alive through the music and the compassion it inspired. Ethan realized that though loss was a part of life, so was the power to touch others through love, courage, and vulnerability. His grief had transformed into a bridge, linking him with strangers, inspiring a child, and keeping the memory of his brother alive. With a final glance at the night sky, Ethan whispered, "Don't cry, Luke. I'll carry our song forward." And in that moment, the weight of sorrow felt lighter, replaced by a quiet, enduring hope that resonated far beyond him.